Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Elizabeth. Some of you may know me, and I know if you do, it's been a really long time. Welcome back. I'm welcoming myself back to YouTube and this channel, so it really feels strange being back in front of the camera like this. But either way, I'm back with the best perfumes of 2024. So these were my favorite perfumes that actually launched this year. I can do a totally different video of my most worn perfumes of 2024, but for now, these are perfumes that released this year and that were my favorites. I know a lot of people have been saying that this year wasn't that great for perfume launches, but I have literally 14 pretty heavy hitters that I really fell in love with this year, so let's go ahead and get into them. Starting off with two from Sniff, I've got Naughty Nona and I've got Heal the Way, so let's start with Heal the Way. To me, this is a vanilla, woody, powdery, creamy fragrance. It has notes of vanilla absolute, pistachio, Palo Santo, musk, amber, and Divana, and when I looked at it, I knew that Palo Santo and that pistachio were just gonna blend together so beautifully for me, and it was more than my expectations could imagine. To me, this smells like fluffy, creamy pistachio ice cream, and this is so comforting. Heal the Way is such a fitting name for this fragrance. Next up is Naughty Nona, which released later into the year, and this one is a beautiful take on a fruitcake. And when I tell you it is the most wearable, delicious fruitcake, I don't even eat or like fruitcake, so when I saw them come out with the advertisement for this, I was like, I have no clue how this is gonna work. But again, another love at first sniff and such a unique fragrance. I feel like Sniff really does push the boundaries when it comes to fragrance. So this has notes of candied ginger, orange, prune, rum, walnut, and vanilla glaze. And I definitely feel like this is a boozy, spongy pound cake with bits of orange and ginger with crushed candied walnuts on top. It's gourmand, but it's bright, it's creamy, a little boozy, but it's all still so wearable. Sniff definitely blew me away with this one. I was not expecting to love it like I did, and I get a good 6 to 8 hours on this one. And although it's a fruitcake scent, you can definitely wear this more than just Christmas or the holiday time. I'm definitely going to be wearing this throughout the year. So kudos to Sniff, because it's definitely a fragrance brand that I fell in love with in 2024, and I know going into 2025 they're only going to get even better. And by the way, I do have a code with Sniff. It's Liz10 if you want to save a little coin. Next is Vanilla Romance by Bath & Body Works, and Bath & Body Works did their thing this year. This perfume took the internet by storm, and for good reason. This is a beautiful vanilla spicy woodsy fragrance, and it's inspired by Perfumes Altaire. In fact, they actually have the exact same perfumer. So when I heard it was inspired by Altaire, I knew I had to get my hands on it, and I went into store, I sniffed it, and fell in love. So it only says it has vanilla absolute, cardamom, and woodsy notes in it, but I know there's so many more notes in this because it is so complex. If you love vanilla fragrances but you want something that's a little bit different, Vanilla Romance would be a great place to start. The spices aren't too spicy in this, it's not too woody that it's going to turn masculine, but the vanilla is still so sweet and sugary, but it's not cloying, and it's really nice and deep with that bourbon vanilla. And I'm just so impressed with Bath & Body Works. We need some more releases that are bangers like this. Next is Glossier You Do. So Glossier came out with two new versions of their iconic Glossier You perfume, Rev and Do, and I absolutely fell in love with Do. It is just so relaxing, clean, woody, and aromatic, but so soft and musky. It has some of my favorite notes like violet, Palo Santo, frankincense and myrrh, and ambroxan and ambre. The Palo Santo and the frankincense and myrrh are really the star of the show in this. It smells like a really expensive hotel lobby, or even like a hotel product that you use, like a shower gel that you fall in love with at a luxury hotel, or even a lotion. And I feel like if you like Glossier You, I feel like you'll like You Do, and I dare say that this is my favorite out of the entire line. Next is La Vie est Belle Elixir by LANCOME. And I know the La Vie est Belle line gets so much flack, but I absolutely fell in love with this. I went into Ulta, I tried it on. It was one of the only ones that I sprayed onto my body, and when I tell you I could not stop thinking about it, the note composition in this is also so unique. It's got notes of raspberry, liquor, Calabrian bergamot, violet leaf, rose, leather, cacao butter, and cedarwood. And to me, this is a boozy raspberry with some leather and cocoa butter. Those are the notes that I pick up most. It's very sexy yet classy and a little bit playful from the raspberry, and I really feel like it's one of a kind. On the opening, it's very bright and fresh from the bergamot and the raspberry, but as it dries down, you get more of that cocoa butter and the leather. And I love a good cedarwood in a fragrance, and this cedarwood is so beautiful in combination with the other notes. If you love raspberry, I would definitely say check this out, and do not skip out on this just because it's in the La Vie est Belle line. Give it a chance. Next is Pink Woods by Ariana Grande, and I love me some Ariana Grande and her perfumes. So when I saw this release, I knew I had to get my hands on it, especially because she released 4, but this was the one that was exclusive to the US. It is so amazing to me. Now, I have seen a lot of different polarizing reviews for this fragrance. It has notes of bergamot, lotus, tea, vetiver, jasmine, cashmere wood, cotton candy, and tonka. There's been a lot of comparisons to Bal d'Afrique and Rare Beauty Fine Comfort Spray. I've never smelled either one of those, but this is a fresh woody fragrance, but that cotton candy really makes it nice and sweet. So when I first sprayed it, I got a little bit of wood, sage, and sea salt from Jo Malone, but a little bit sweeter, fluffy, airier. And I sprayed it on my inner elbow, and I could not stop sniffing myself, and it lasted a really long time too. And for 4.25 fluid ounces for $80, and it lasts a decent amount of time, I just knew I had to have it in my collection. It's very different from the other Ariana Grande fragrances, but it still has that sweet, girly, fluffy feel. But this one is just a little bit more grown up, but she's still carefree. And I know I might be in the minority, but I really hope to see more celebrity fragrances going into 2025. Speaking of celebrity scents, another amazing release for me this year was KYLIE Cosmic. So for me, this is a musky, woodsy, floral, sweet fragrance. And I feel like with celebrity fragrances, people are just going to have such polarizing opinions, but for me, this was a love at first sniff, and I really think this will always be in my collection. It's just so freaking good to me, and I absolutely love the bottle and how it fits in your hand. It's feminine, it is so pretty, but it has a little bit of sexiness, but not too sexy where it's like unapproachable. The florals in this are done so beautifully, and I definitely think this is a magnetic fragrance that whoever smells this on you is gonna like want to get a little bit closer. So it has notes of star jasmine, blood orange, amber, red peony, musk, vanilla, and cedar. Again, a very easy reach, easy to love, inoffensive fragrance. And although the internet is split on this, when I was in Ulta, it was so many girls picking this up, so that says something. Okay, let's move to Arabic fragrances because those took over 2024. Starting with Kahir Confection, this was one of the best fragrance releases of the year. So this is inspired by Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar by KYLIE, and when I tell you they hit the nail on the head. Now heads up, you do have to like your fragrances sweet to like this one, but it is to me the perfect balance of sweet, feminine, and a little bit sexy. So the notes that are sometimes given on Arabic fragrances don't always capture everything that you smell, so I like to go to the inspired fragrances and go off of those notes. So for that, we have vanilla, pear, marshmallow, rum, violet leaves, ylang ylang, bubblegum, jelly bean, caramel, jasmine, labdanum, sugar, patchouli, tonka, cashmere wood, sandalwood, and vetiver. You get a lot of notes in there, but it is so beautifully blended. I feel like this is a fragrance every woman should have in her collection. It's got the gourmand elements that you love from the marshmallow, the jelly beans, and the bubblegum, but then it's got some booziness and depth from the rum and caramel. It is absolutely intoxicating. I feel like if you like sweet feminine fragrances, you need to get this one in your collection. And although to me it's mostly a bubblegum marshmallow floral fragrance, it is not childlike. It is done to absolute perfection. Kahir Confection is so gorgeous, and so is KYLIE Vanilla Rock Sugar. And last for my Arabic fragrances, we've got LATTAFA Noble Blush. This has absolutely blown me away. So this has notes of rose milk, meringue, almond, vanilla, sandalwood, and musk. And to me, the most simple way that I can put this is a rose milkshake, or I can describe it as the frosting on top of a cupcake. Not the cupcake itself, but the frosting. Make it pink, make it fluffy, and then dust some dried rose petals on top. That's what this smells like. This is an original creation from LATTAFA's Baddie Out Oud line, and LATTAFA, we need more original creations, seriously. Again, another category that I really love are floral gourmands, and they knock this one out of the park. I feel like this one is so mature, so womanly, and another fragrance that I feel like you should definitely try, and if you love those type of fragrances, you need in your collection. Also saw Sharita describe this as Delina, but make it more gourmand, and that is exactly that. None of the notes in here are cloying. The rose milk is done so beautifully and creamy. The meringue and almond give it that frosting vibe. It's so whipped and fluffy. Then the musk, vanilla, and sandalwood are just done to perfection. I am so blown away with this one, and I'm so happy because I absolutely love this bottle, and I absolutely love the fragrance. It is so addicting, so feminine, flirty, but it's also going to get you a lot of compliments and make you stand out. Next is Jimmy Choo I Want Choo Le Parfum, and if you know me, you know I love me some Jimmy Choo, and I really like the original I Want Choo, and you guys, this is even better. This has notes of pear, blackberry, gardenia, patchouli, jasmine, ambrette, praline, sandalwood, and moss, and this is such a juicy, fun, yet sophisticated fragrance. So although there's no champagne in this, it does still have like a bubbly vibe. It feels like just popping open a bottle of gold champagne. The pear and blackberry make it so juicy and crisp, but the sandalwood, ambrette, and moss make it so sophisticated and elegant. To me, almost all of Jimmy Choo's fragrance have such sophistication. They smell like a woman, but they also still have that soft, playful side. It does still have that perfumey vibe that a lot of Jimmy Choo fragrances have, but to me, that's what I love about Jimmy Choo fragrances. And if you like the original I Want Choo line, you are probably gonna love this one. Next is Match Made in Heaven from SORCE or Sorcellery, and this is actually an indie brand, my favorite indie brand of all time, and this is one of the best matcha fragrances ever. So it has matcha, vanilla soft serve, waffle cone, cherry blossom, almond, and sandalwood. And I know Caitlin, the creator of SORCE, said that she got inspo from going into a local matcha shop of hers. And so this is supposed to smell like a matcha ice cream, and it smells exactly like that. It is 100% matcha ice cream with a waffle cone and a little bit of whipped cream on top. The almond adds some depth to it, the cherry blossom makes it fluffy, but the vanilla soft serve, waffle cone, and the matcha are the absolute stars of the show, and the waffle cone and the matcha go so well together. It's been so popular that it's been sold out every single time that she released it, so I believe you can get it for pre-order right now. I'm not sure, but definitely be sure to get a sample or at least get the 15 ml because it is an absolute masterpiece, and I love it because it's so unique but a concept that so many people can enjoy. Getting down to the last few, next is Vanilla Skin by PHLUR, and Vanilla Skin is another one that took the internet by storm. This is probably one of the best vanillas ever. It is so good. It's so sugary sweet, but it also has all of the nuances that you're looking for from the perfect vanilla fragrance. It lasts a really long time. It's going to get you tons of compliments and creates the most gorgeous sugary sweet yet airy scent bubble. And so many people don't even know that this has an oud note in it. It has akigala in it, which makes it so grounded and wearable. It has notes of sugar, pink pepper, apple, cashmere wood, jasmine, lily, vanilla, agar wood, sandalwood, and benzoin. Another love at first sniff for me, and again, I love a good magnetic bottle. I feel like PHLUR is another brand that has absolutely been killing it this year, and I really can't wait to discover even more. I also got Father Figure this year, but I don't think that was released this year, so it didn't make it into this video. But when I tell you, if you love vanilla fragrances, you need to get your nose on Vanilla Skin, period, point blank. So the next two are from a brand that I have fallen madly in love with this year and also got a beautiful opportunity to work with, and that is 7 Virtues. So starting with CANDIED Lychee, this is a fragrance that is literally encapsulating what it is to be feminine, flirty, pretty, and pink. So it says it has notes of lychee, peony, vanilla, and amber, but I can't remember where I heard somewhere that it has notes of jelly beans as well in here, so I'm not sure if there's more notes because it smells a little bit more complex than just that. I love 7 Virtues as well because they're a clean fragrance brand. A lot of their proceeds go to great causes, and they also put what each fragrance fits the vibe best of. So for this one, it says positive vibes, feeling flirty, and boosting energy, and it does just that. It is so feminine, flirty, fun, juicy, yet fresh, and if you love lychee or peony, I definitely feel like you need to get your nose on this. I tried 3 lychee fragrances this year, this one being one of them, the KYLIE, and then Nest Lychee Rose, and this one is my favorite out of the 3. I cannot wait for the spring and summer to really just get into this one. And yes, it's pink, feminine, flirty, fun, but don't let that deter you because it is definitely wearable for all ladies. And next is my favorite release from them for the year, and this is Amber Vanilla. I have fallen so madly in love with this scent, and this one is best for evoking comfort, self-love, and inspiring gratitude. And when I tell you it evokes comfort and self-love and gratitude, when I got this fragrance, I would spray it and I could not stop thinking about it. I would crave wearing this fragrance when I just wanted to feel good or just wear a fragrance in general. This is what I've been picking up. This is definitely one of my most worn fragrances in 2024. And you don't need a lot, but every single time I wear this, I get compliments. If you like fragrances like Glossier You, this is in that wheelhouse, but like so much better and a little bit elevated. This has notes of pink pepper, carnation, lily of the valley, ISOE super, ambroxan, vanilla, and musk. And oh my gosh, every time I smell this, I feel the same way that I do when I first got it. It is absolutely gorgeous. Don't let that pink pepper scare you because it's done so well in this, and that additional note of carnation I feel like is what really sets it apart and makes it so good. It's an amazing, timeless, classy scent that I feel like is going to be an easy reach, no-brainer. This one isn't as long lasting as CANDIED Lychee, but for me, everything doesn't have to be a super long lasting beast mode scent. I like to take my scents with me and I have no problem reapplying. And with the compliments that I get with this one, it is absolutely worth it. And last but not least, we have made it to my #1 release of 2024, and it is none other than AMOUAGE Guidance 46. So I was never a huge fan of the original AMOUAGE Guidance. I could see why people loved it, but I just couldn't get down with it for the price. But when I saw that they released this, the first thing that people said was, if you did not like the original Guidance, try this one and give it another shot, and so I did. I got a sample from my scent sister Michelle, and thank you, Michelle, because you put me onto one of the best fragrances in my entire collection, not just in 2024. But this is the quintessential smell of a woman. I would definitely say it's not like a 21 and under fragrance. I definitely think it's like 25 and up, and I'm not even one to put ages on fragrance. But I feel like if you're not ready for this fragrance, you have to get ready or it'll make you rich. It is artistry to the highest degree, and the packaging is absolutely exquisite to go along with this exquisite fragrance. This is the best release for 2024 for me, and I'm so glad that they did a different version of AMOUAGE guidance so that we could all enjoy the fragrance that has all women going crazy. I can't tell you how it actually compares to the original, besides that it's much more smooth, more rounded out, a lot more wearable and lovable, because I don't have that original AMOUAGE guidance sample anymore. But I definitely think if you haven't tried the OG, or if you didn't like it, please get your nose on this one and give it a try. It is pricey, so it's one of those that you're probably gonna have to add to your wish list and wait on for Christmas or your birthday, or once you save up, but it is so freaking worth it, because a lot of these releases this year have been expensive and not so worth it, but this one is definitely worth it. So yeah, those are my best fragrances of 2024. I am so happy with the fragrances that I've discovered this year, fallen in love with. And if you'd like to see my most worn fragrances video, definitely let me know, and let me know what your favorite releases this year from 2024 were, and I cannot wait to see what 2025 brings.